What is going on, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? My name is Prodigy, and welcome to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be covering more from the Ultimania, more from this main Nomura interview. Today we're going to be talking a lot about the graphic creation for Kingdom Hearts 3, a lot about the Kingdom shader, how the art style was made for different Disney worlds, and much more. But I'm not going to ramble on for too long, so let's get right into it. So starting off, among the worlds of Kingdom Hearts 3, Olympus is a constant that has appeared in nearly every game in the series so far. Do you have any particular feelings towards it? There isn't really a reason for that. It's honestly just by chance. I mean, the reason it appears in Kingdom Hearts 3 is simply because it made for a perfect beginning to the journey. Sora going to visit a hero who had once regained lost powers in order to try and regain his own. If I were to say I had particular feelings about it, I'd say that I love having Hades appear. He's a very funny character, and I start wanting to watch him moving about. Very interesting comment there from Nomura. I remember back when this first came out, people were talking about how Olympus possibly is going to be returning in future Kingdom Hearts games because of this comment, because Nomura seems to like Hades a lot, and I wouldn't mind it personally if Olympus returned in future Kingdom Hearts titles. I definitely see Olympus as like one of those staple worlds in the Kingdom Hearts series. Of course, you have your original staples like your Destiny Islands, your Twilight Towns, Radiant Gardens, which is missing from Kingdom Hearts 3, but among Disney worlds you have your staples like Olympus and of course 100 Acre Wood. Olympus definitely in Kingdom Hearts 3 I feel like is the best iteration of Olympus we've ever gotten in a Kingdom Hearts game. I know some people were a little disappointed that we didn't get a tournament because to some people that's what Olympus, you know, is. And although I do agree with that, I also feel like in Kingdom Hearts 3 they took a very good approach towards Olympus, a more narrative driven approach rather than one that was more focused on the fights. Sora going there to try to learn from Herc, learn from him what it took to like save Meg during that scene in Kingdom Hearts 2. It was a very interesting storyline. I really liked it a lot. And also the world is definitely more open and more beautiful than it ever has been before, and of course that's because of the modern Kingdom Hearts style. Though I do hope that in the DLC, if they decide to do this, that they do add some tournaments maybe if they want to go that route, or that in future Kingdom Hearts games they add some sort of tournament to Olympus as well. But Olympus, if it returns, I'm down for it. Are you guys down for it? Let me know in the comment section. The 100 Acre Wood is another constant, come to think of it. That's because Pooh is the kind of character who makes you feel safe just by being there. Since I knew that the other worlds would take up a lot of production time, I thought from the start that I wanted to make 100 Acre Wood a place for you to take a breather from the adventure with the like minigame. Another interesting comment from Nomura. This actually, I read this like way before I made this video, but this comment kind of made me think of 100 Acre Wood a little differently than I used to, and he talks about this again in the next quote. But it's very interesting because 100 Acre Wood to me, I always kind of hated it because, or I won't say hated, like it was always a pace breaking world in the Kingdom Hearts series for me at least, especially in Kingdom Hearts 1, which happens to be my least favorite version of Winnie the Pooh. But when you start looking at it the way Nomura kind of intends for it to be, like right here, it kind of makes you think like, okay, I can kind of appreciate this world a bit because it is kind of fun to chill and relax with that. Like the mini games in Kingdom Hearts 3, I do find very fun, and I'm not one for mini games in the Kingdom Hearts series. I never really liked them per se. I never really disliked them either. They were just kind of there. But in Kingdom Hearts 3, I definitely find myself going back and forth between mini games constantly. Winnie the Pooh's mini game being one of them, another one being the Frozen slider, and another one being the many different versions of the flans. Like the mini games in Kingdom Hearts 3 are pretty fun and definitely pretty addicting. But anyways, continuing with the 100 Acre Wood stuff. In the 100 Acre Wood, the graphics switch to a unique style where the characters' outlines are much stronger. That processing wasn't added to the game until the last stages of development. For Kingdom Hearts 3, we used something that we call the Kingdom shader to change the feel of the graphics for each world, but Pooh's world was just normal, so I had to make the graphics less like the cartoon and more like the original picture book. When trying to bring out that storybook feel, I personally was very particular about the color of the sky. Nothing too much there. I definitely like the Winnie the Pooh art style a lot. I think it very accurately brings brings out that storybook feel. I do wish that world wasn't as short as it was though. It was only like 30 minutes and I was very confused when that happened. I was definitely expecting, like in previous Kingdom Hearts games, to be collecting torn pages all over the place. On the opposite end of the spectrum, the Caribbean was overwhelmingly detailed, almost lifelike, and I agree. In a way, that world was what determined the graphics quality for the game. In the early stages of development, I created a video of Sora sailing the sea and riding enemies through the skies for an in-house presentation session. The quality of the graphics in that one-off test clip were so high and it looked so overwhelmingly good among all the other titles that our company was developing at the time that it completely stole the show at that presentation session. I sensed that this world would be a highlight right from those early days. By the way, the coat Sora wears in the Caribbean is designed after a coat of my own that I gave the staff as a reference upon my request. I think I might not have gotten it back yet. Laughs. So I completely agree. The Caribbean is the most beautiful world in Kingdom Hearts 3. I love the way that world looks. Like if you're looking at the CGI cutscene, for example, it looks so beautiful. The effects, the rain, the detail, it's all so amazing, and they don't look as out of place there as they did in Kingdom Hearts 2. It's kind of crazy like how good they got that world to look, and it still baffles me to this day. Like I constantly go back like during my free time going through theater mode, and one of the first cutscenes I look at is that CGI cutscene in the Caribbean when that world ends, because it's so good, it's so beautiful, and it's just amazing. Like if Kingdom Hearts can look like that in the future, if they can put more CGI into Kingdom Hearts, which I know would probably be expensive, I'm totally just down for it, dude. Like it's so good looking. I know I've said that a lot, but geez, they did something with that. The Kingdom shader was really put to work there. Of all Sora's world specific forms, he undergoes quite a drastic change in Metropolis. In the beginning, I considered having him wear some kind of monster onesie, like Boo does in the original film, but thanks to Pixar's wishes, he ended up turning into a monster. In the original Monsters Inc., there are rather strict rules concerning the colors and eye shapes that can be used in character designs. So after they had decided upon designs that fit those rules, I made final adjustments of my own. Sora in particular started off with the soft, shiny body that I felt wasn't quite coming together, so I put fur on him. But then Pixar instructed me not to make him look too much like a cat. It was a struggle to find a compromise, and so even though it looks like Sora has cat ears, they're actually horns. Laughs. Actually, these images of what Sora's monsters design, like the concept arts for it, are in the Ultimania, which you can see like very weird-ish medium quality pictures of on the screen right now. I'm sorry, my phone absolutely sucks. I'm trying to get a new one, but this looks interesting, to say the least. You were able to recreate the graphics of the worlds based on CG titles to a very high level. Did you use graphics data from the original films? We did receive some to use as a reference, but due to factors such as the number of polygons and the data format, it's not something that's possible to use directly. So we recreated everything anew, trying to make it look the same as the original film. For the cutscenes, the staff in charge watched the original films over and over again, adjusting the camera, work, and blocking. If you think that we recreated the graphics to a high level, it's all thanks to the hard work of the staff. And thank you to them for all of that hard work, because like I said with the Pirates of the Caribbean comment, it looks beautiful. Like I'm going to use the Let It Go cutscene in Kingdom Hearts 3 as an example. That is actually like frame by frame, almost at least, what it looks like in the movie. Of course, it looks like just a tiny bit worse than the movie because of course it's a video game compared to a full movie made for that. But honestly, unless you were really analyzing it, you would not be able to tell the difference. And the fact that they created that from scratch pretty much. They said they created all of that themselves, of course using like references, of course, but all of that was made by them. They're the ones that recreated it. It's honestly just amazing to think about. Like honestly, I am so honored and privileged to live in a day and age where Kingdom Hearts can look like this. But enough of me geeking out about the graphics. This is going to be the last comment here, and this is going to be about Classic Kingdom. In contrast, Classic Kingdom is done in the the style of an old LCD game. People who remember those days find it so nostalgic. My vision was that since each minigame is based on a different short film, I wanted to make each minigame into a world, just like the other Disney worlds. Although even as worlds, they don't have maps, they have one screen. Laughs. LCD games were booming when I was a child, but my parents wouldn't buy them for me. So I bought them for myself when I grew up. I have dozens of them. I had wanted to make a smartphone RPG with LCD game style graphics, and had even submitted a project plan unrelated to Kingdom Hearts. If I could, I'd love to make a real classic Kingdom LCD game handheld. That would be very interesting if Nomura just came out of nowhere and dropped a LCD game or something in that style. I do think Classic Kingdom is something very, very cool. It's not something that I personally play a lot on my free time. To be honest, I forget it's in the game half of the time, but it is something really freaking cool. I'm definitely a person who was addicted, like when it came out as a part of Union Cross. I was definitely addicted to Carnival Kid. I believe that was the game with like the food and stuff. That game was extremely fun. I love that so much. I grinded that all day to get my Starlight Keyblade before KH3 came out. It was so cool. But guys, that is going to about do it for today's video. I am so happy that I'm able to keep making these videos for you guys. The new PC is really making things a lot faster. It cuts the rendering time like in half, more than that to be honest with you. And I don't have to deal with my programs constantly crashing and yada 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 PC stuff. But I'm getting back into making a lot more content. I know over the past, like I'd say a week and a half, 2 weeks, like I've been a little late with some uploads. Like I would randomly go 4 days without uploading, which is not something I usually do. Usually I try to upload every other day or within like a 2-day time frame of whenever the previous video was released. But I'm done doing that now. I'm going all in right now with YouTube and streaming because I want to make this work, and I'm going to need your guys' help to do that, of course. And of course, the things you can do to help with that is these 3 things. If you enjoyed today's video, leave a like, share the video with a friend or family member, and last but not least, if you have not already and want to become a part of the union, all you have to do is hit that red little subscribe button down below. Also, leave a comment telling me what was the most interesting part of this interview. During the next interview, we're going to be diving into some lore stuff. Not like new information, but like, I guess some nice to know type of stuff. The premise of the next section of the interview is going to be about the developments of the Darkseeker saga as envisioned since Kingdom Hearts 2. So, look forward to that. It's basically going to be talking about Nomura's thought process of making the Darkseeker saga from Kingdom Hearts 2 and onwards. But with that out of the way, my name is Prodigy, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.